Welcome to Advanced Operating Systems in the online master's course at UT Austin. Throughout this course, we're going to be learning about operating systems and their internals. So if you always wondered about how does Linux work internally, this is a great course for you. And we're going to be doing we're going to spread the topics out over the semester, and we're going to be learning things about, for example, virtual memory. We're going to be learning about file systems. We're going to be learning how the hardware works in conjunction with the software in order to provide sort of like the operating system to the end user. This will involve a lot of some amount of learning about the hardware also. So if you have taken an architecture class prior to this, right? For example, Introduction to Computer Architecture and Computer Organization, some course like that would actually be very useful. But I would also say that if you don't have that, it is going to be possible to pick up what you need as you do this course. Another thing that's going to be important for this course is knowing some amount of C. So if you're programmed in C, that's going to be important. All of the kernel programming we're going to be doing is going to be in C. So that's something that it's useful to know. Once again, I think it is possible for people to pick these up as they do the course, but it is helpful to have this background. So this course is really meant for someone who has some level of OS knowledge, but is sort of looking to deepen their OS knowledge. It's not really meant as a graduate course, so it's not meant to introduce you to all the latest research in operating systems. As such, it's sort of like an interesting course. It's I would say half undergraduate course and half graduate course. So you do learn the fundamentals. So wherever you went for undergrad, if you feel like it's been a while since you did undergrad, or you want to brush up, so there will be some fundamental content. But there'll also be some amount of cutting edge research that we would cover, right? So we will talk about projects that have been recently presented at the top conferences, SOSP and OSDI, which occur every other year in our community. So SOSP stands for Symposium on Operating System Principles, and OSDI is Operating Systems Design and Implementation. So we'll be covering some papers from both of these conferences. But again, I want to stress that, for example, if you want to go to grad school and you want to do a PhD, this is not the right course for you. We don't delve into sort of all the deep fundamentals that would be required for a research career. It's more of sort of a light introduction to research, so you know what research looks like. And as you take this course, if you find yourself liking these research papers and find yourself wanting to do research, then I would recommend that you do a more a course that is sort of more deeply into research. One of the reasons why this course is sort of not a full introduction to OS research is because typically that involves doing a research project, right? So in our graduate operating system courses, we normally do semester-long sort of deep projects, and without that, it's really hard to understand the OS at the same level as just reading papers. So that's really why this is not meant to introduce prepare students for a graduate career. So we're going to have 24 lectures, which we will be spreading out over the entire semester, and they'll be on different topics, as we have already talked about. And so if we talk about the grading for this, right? So 70% of your grade is going to come from projects, right? For example, a good warm-up project that we'd have you do is adding a new system call, right? If you've never worked with the kernel before, this will be exciting, and it will get you introduced to working with the kernel and doing kernel programming. We will have two exams, a midterm and a final, and those will be each 15% of your grade. So the reason the grade structure is like this is because you will actually learn the most from projects. When I've taught this course before, students have often said that they learned most from the projects, because there's nothing like changing the operating system yourself to deeply understand the concepts that we're talking about. So these projects are going to be heavy. So there are going to be 10 projects spaced out over the entire semester. So you're going to be doing a project every 2 weeks or so. And so I definitely recommend that you take this course if you're able to make time for it. So if you took this course and all you did were you listened to the lectures, the amount of learning you're going to get is not going to be comparable to someone who listened to the lectures but also did the project, because again, like I think you learn the most from the projects. So you will still have 2 exams, and these exams are to make sure that you have the fundamentals right. And my usual style of like exams is that, like, I don't like exams where you have to memorize something. So these will usually be application oriented. So for example, once you understand the principles behind operating systems, let's say we change some little thing, like, so how will the design change? So these will be questions like that. And so this is also something to sort of like prepare yourself, right? So usually undergraduate courses are don't involve as much sort of like design aspect in their exams, whereas in sort of like this course, you will most definitely be sort of thinking about the fundamentals and changing the OS design in order to sort of like answer the question. So this will be like sort of application oriented exams, and so something to sort of like keep in mind as you decide whether you want to take this course or not. So apart from this, as the course progresses, we will have online office hours. So every week I will have office hours, the TAs will have office hours. So this will be something, this will be a chance for you to ask questions about the week's lectures or about the projects. Previously, when I ran this course, we used to have a lot of like back and forth in the class as students would ask questions, and then we would discuss like what that meant. The nature of this course being sort of like an online course means that that's not going to be possible. So the office hours are really the opportunity for you to ask questions about the material as you sort of like learn and go through the class. And the TAs will be there to help you as you do the projects. So that's going to be the general nature of the course. 24 lectures, 10 projects, 2 exams. We will have office hours every week so that you can ask questions and like learn from the TAs in real time. We will also have a discussion board online attached to the edX course, so that like you can ask questions. And what I've usually found in these classes is that the students help each other a lot. And oftentimes there are, there's some sort of like simple question that they ask, and in many times what we've seen is that like before a TA or I could answer, another students in the class would answer saying like, here's the thing. And these boards would be open, questions can be answered by other students. And so this will also be like quite a big resource as we sort of like move forward with this online course. So that will be the general structure of the course, and I'm very excited. This is the first time we're doing an online course like this, and there isn't like a lot of like options available if you want to learn about operating systems online. So I hope this will be an exciting course for you, and I hope you'll do the projects and learn a lot from them.